So maybe you've decided that you want to call the Temecula Valley home, but you're not sure exactly which neighborhood you want to live in. That's exactly what we're doing here today with our neighborhood spotlight video. Today we are here to feature Dutch Village in Winchester, California. It's technically in French Valley. This is a great neighborhood with a lot to offer. I can't wait to show it to you. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley Realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things living in the Temecula Valley. From new construction tours, to neighborhood spotlights, to new things coming here to the Valley, I want you and your family to know exactly what it's like living here before you make the move. Let's dive in. So let's start with some pros about living here in Dutch Village. Number one is the affordability. The fact that we just crossed out of Murrieta into Winchester brings the prices down just a bit, so you can get a similar home to what you would get in Murrieta for much less just right here up the street. On top of that, you've got low property taxes, a low HOA, and here's a hidden secret that not a lot of people know. You actually get Temecula schools, which is a huge, huge pro. We'll touch a little bit more on that in a minute. Now let's move on to talk about some of the cons or just some things to consider before you make the move here. Number one is that there's not a lot in terms of amenities. You do have an HOA, but you've got a park here that we'll take a look at. The park is basically just a public park, not really a perk of the HOA, but it is something locally and close by. Outside of that, the homes are a little bit older. And now when I say older, I don't mean they were built in the 60s. We're talking early 2000s, maybe some 90s, but not a lot to consider there. And then lastly, something super important to keep in mind here is you're very close to the French Valley Airport and you will get some plane noise. These are not big jets. They're basically just small private owned jets, but you will hear that from time to time. So it's something to consider before making the move. Now let's talk a little bit about home prices here in the area. So the first thing that you want to be aware of is that these change over time. Home prices change all the time, so we don't love to quote them here on the channel all of the time. If you want current up-to-date prices based off of when you're watching this video, feel free to reach out to me and my team. You can leave us a comment, you can shoot us a call or a text or an email, and we'll get right back to you on current up-to-date pricing based on when you're watching this video. Now, current pricing for when we filmed this, home prices start in the mid 500,000 range and go all the way up to about the mid 700,000 range here inside of the neighborhood. Now, if we're talking on the upper end of prices, you're definitely talking a large 2-story home with a paid-off solar system and a pool, potentially some RV parking included in there. And then we work our way all the way down to like your starter type home in the mid 500 range. Now let's talk about home sizes here inside of Dutch Village. So we did mention that we've got some starter homes all the way up to some much larger homes. On the starter home side of things, you're gonna be as small as 1,300 square feet, just a small single story, 3-bed, 2-bath. Now on the larger side of things, you go all the way up to 3,500 square feet. And as I mentioned, those can be 5 or more bedrooms with a loft space. There's lots of different options here inside the neighborhood. But whether you're looking, starter home just for you and yourself, or you've got a large family or a lot of people living with you, this neighborhood can accommodate just about any living scenario. So let's move on to the school system here. As I mentioned, one of the pros to living here in French Valley, Winchester, is that you actually get Temecula schools. So Winchester doesn't have its own school system. You get to take advantage of some of the top-rated schools that come with Temecula with a Winchester price tag. So that is a huge pro that not a lot of people know about. So when it comes to those schools, we've got French Valley Elementary, which is rated a 6 out of 10 on greatschools.org. You've got Bella Vista Middle School, which is rated a 7 out of 10 on Great Schools. And then for high school, you've got Chaparral High School, a little bit of a drive from here, but you're looking at a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org. So some top rated schools with a Winchester price tag. So now we'll get into a little bit of the nuts and bolts as far as what your monthly payments are going to look like here. I gave you the home prices, so you know what that will look like, but let's talk about property taxes and HOA. Property taxes here in the Temecula Valley can vary greatly neighborhood by neighborhood, which is why we discuss it here on these videos. This is a low tax neighborhood, as I mentioned. You've got taxes as low as 1.1% for some portions of this neighborhood, and then on the high side, they're 1.43%. Now, to give you some perspective there, taxes on the lowest range are 1.1, so that would be the best option for you here in the neighborhood. And on the high side of any neighborhood here in the area, you might be touching 2.3 to 2.4%. So this is on the lower range, meaning that your monthly payment that will be going towards property taxes is going to be as low as you can get just about anywhere in the area. So let's talk about the HOA fees. As I said, you don't have any amenities for the HOA here, which is a little bit of a pro, just something to weigh out for you. But they are just gonna make sure that your neighbor's not parking their car on the front lawn, or they don't paint their house purple. I know I always pick on that, so sorry if your favorite color is purple. But the HOA cost here is pretty affordable considering they don't have the amenities. You will have $120 of an annual assessment for those HOAs, so that works out to about $10 a month. And then there are portions here inside the neighborhood that you will have an additional $55 a month. So it could be as low as 10 bucks, it could be up to 65 depending on which portion of Dutch Village that you're in, but it is really, really affordable compared to some of the other HOAs that can push up over 300 on some new construction here in the area. So let's talk about some of the key features here in the neighborhood. Obviously a lot of things that I've already touched on, but some huge pros to being here is the affordability. Again, you're right down the street from Murrieta, you get Temecula schools, but it comes with a Winchester price tag. So that is one of your best features here. Alongside the affordability goes the low property taxes and the low HOA. Con is that you don't have the amenities to the HOA. All you get is this park that we've got right here behind us. But again, this is a public park. Anybody can come here. It's not just part of your HOA. So you lack on the amenities side. And then outside of that, you just have to factor in that you are close to the French Valley Airport and you will get some noise from time to time. So again, those are small planes. They don't seem to typically bother people here in the area, but I want you to be aware of that. So when you come visit this neighborhood, make sure you stop, maybe hang out for 20-30 minutes. You will see an airplane go by, and you just want to make sure that's something that you can live with. I don't think you're typically going to hear it inside of your home living here in the area, but it's definitely something to be aware of before you make the purchase. So that's it for our neighborhood spotlight here on Dutch Village in Winchester, California, also known as French Valley. This is a really great little neighborhood that gets you in at a starter price point. You're very close to all of the things Murrieta and Temecula have to offer, but you're not paying the price tag that comes along with that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions about moving to the Temecula Valley, moving specifically here to Dutch Village, we would love to help you with that process. You can get a hold of us in a few different ways. You can call us, you can send us a text, you can send an email, and you can even schedule a one-on-one Zoom consultation with a member of my team. Click down into the description below with a direct link to our calendar to book that right away. We would love to hear from you. Like I said, we would love to assist you with your purchase here in the area. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We'll see you next time.